Hello and welcome to episode 69 of Things I've Learned from Barry Harris. And today I thought we would discuss using Barry's 4 scales of chords to create a chord melody. And in this case, we'd use the standard autumn leaves to see if what we could come up with. So let me just tell you first that the 4 scales of chords that Barry talks about, he talks about all the time. There's several videos on YouTube about it that are just great and in detail. And he shows all the different ways to practice it, including parallel motion, oblique motion, and contrary motion. And I've always been aware of it, but it wasn't until this particular YouTuber named Thomas Eccles got in contact with me, and he has a wonderful YouTube channel called Labyrinth of Limitations, which is just fantastic. I'll link it below. And he has a very beautiful system of looking at Barry's scales of chords and how he applies it and how he looks at it, which is really great and helped me out a lot in terms of my chording and how to look at things. I always had a problem with it, but his system I really seem to understand. And I hadn't seen any other guitar player really talk about it like this before. So I'm going to leave a link in the description about it. But anyway, we'll talk about the 4 scales of chords. The first scale of chord you're going to need to know is B flat 6. B flat 6 diminished. The second one you're going to need to know is E flat 6 diminished. So there's 2. Then you're going to need to know F7 diminished. There's 3. Then you're going to need to know B flat 6 again. Back to E flat 6 again. Then you're going to need to know C minor 6 diminished, so there's 4. And then for D7, we're going to play D7 flat 5 diminished, so there's 5. So we got B flat 6, E flat 6, F7 diminished, C minor 6 diminished, D7 flat 5 diminished, and then the last one, which will be G minor 6 diminished. So there's 6 really. So that sounds like a lot, but I'll just show you where I'm going with this. So if we take the melody we'll play it in B flat. So we'll take the melody for Autumn Leaves, which starts on. We'll take a look and we'll say that that's B flat 6 because it's a pickup. So we'll call that B flat 6. Now, if I did drop 2s in B flat 6, I got to find my drop 2 that fits where that's the highest note. So then I'll just say, and then I played it to a pretty E flat 6. So there we go. Is F7. Now I'm going to do it for F7 diminished. Here's E flat 6 again. E flat 6 diminished. D7 flat 5. Now those are really beautiful, but those are just parallel motion, so I'm taking all drop 2s and moving all 4 notes in exactly the same direction all the time. Now then, there's contrary motion, where if I take the first note, maybe I'll take thirds, which would be, in the 6 diminished, these would be thirds, but we got the 5th and the 6th. So if I'm going to play the melody, it would be this. But if I'm going to do contrary motion, it's going to be this. So it would sound like this, which are nice, but that always stays 2 notes. So that's 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes. I'm going to start on 2 notes, I'm going to move to 3 notes, then stay on 3 notes. So let's try that. Same thing for F7. Same thing. Now C minor 6, D7 flat 5, same thing again, But you see all the little different things that you can do using contrary motion with B flat 6, with F7 diminished. So it just makes the chord melodies much more interesting. Also, it prevents you from playing a lot of, and as a guitar player, I recognize this in myself and also in other players, where there's a million chord melodies for Autumn Leaves, but they all seem to sound the same. We all seem to be, like drop 2 chords all the time. So this is a nice way to kind of break it up, or break up the monotony of normally what is guitar chord melodies. What I love about Barry's system the most is that even if you only learned, let's say, your drop 2s for all those different scales of chords, those 5 different ones, you could play the whole song in drop 2s, but at least it's giving you some different sounds that you haven't heard before. So even if you only get that far, if you don't even get to playing triads or learning how to move contrary motion, if you just play drop 2s, that's going to sound beautiful. And that's really the thing that makes Barry's method so special, is that no matter what level you're on, you can use it to create some really beautiful things that it doesn't sound like, oh, this is a beginner version of it. It just sounds beautiful. There's so much to this stuff, and the further along I get with it, the more I realize, well, first of all, the more I realize how much I don't know about it, and then the more I realize the fact that he's a master, but really it's even on a higher level than I even thought. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you this short video, but I'm going to link Thomas's YouTube page in the description. And you should visit it and take a look at it. It's a lot of interesting things that he does. I mean, he's a really brilliant person. And the first time I saw it, I saw the brilliance in it, but I had to really watch it a whole bunch of times in order to really get it on my instrument. But it's definitely worth doing. So I'll link it in the description. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, which is using Barry's 4 scales of chords to create a chord melody. Thanks. Till next time.